I'm Cheryl with Bluegrass Dreams to Seams. We talk about sewing and knitting in my videos. Sometimes it's more about sewing, sometimes it's more about knitting, sometimes it's a little bit blend of both. This video today is going to focus on a few things that I've made. I'm actually going to critique two patterns or compare contrast them, and one item that I made for a gift. And I'm going to give you, mostly this video is going to be a video tour of my sewing space. So that's what today's video is about. Okay, so a little bit about why I've been absent for so long, because the last video I made was April. I had a little bit of a life-changing event happen in my family. I was not expecting this at all. I really thought I would go through summer, just get used to the new routine. Your life is going to be about staying at mom's. You would not be home. But actually what my life turned out to be was, yes, I was doing that, but it was only because my mom's health was drastically changing and she no longer had the will to live. I placed her on hospice. After she passed away, of course, you've got the gazillion phone calls you have to make. You have the funeral, you have all the legal stuff you have to take care of, and you think that's never going to end. And then you get down to where all that's kind of settling down. It took a month. That's settling down. And then you say, oh, finally, I can do something for myself. It's time for school to open. I notified school and told them I needed another month because I had not had a summer, and I just needed to do a few more things at my mother's to get the house ready to sell, which took another 6 weeks. So anyway, now we're in the process of selling the house. We've managed to get rid of most of the items in the house. I drag on somebody for just a minute. My friend Ella, I contacted her as soon as I became aware of I've got to put Mom on hospice, and because I knew she had took care of her mother at home. And I knew that's what my mother wanted more than anything, and I wanted to give her that. So I contact Ella, and I'm going to insert a picture real quick. So this is my friend Ella. We've been friends since the 1960s. I contacted her because I knew she had done this for her mother, and I asked for tips. I mean, I was struggling, and she was like my biggest cheerleader. If you ever feel like that you want to give someone something and you're just kind of hesitant about it, you know someone who's been there, I suggest you call that friend and you talk to them, or you text them. And she was at work, so I texted her, but she was my biggest cheerleader. She said, you can do it, Cheryl, you can do this. And I was so glad I did. I do not regret my decision in the least. I'm so glad. I did have hospice there, and there were a few times they would just comfort me because I was crying. They were wonderful. So I can't, and my daughters, they came down. Oh my goodness. I just feel so blessed by everyone who helped me. My oldest daughter had started a new job the week my mother passed away, and she would leave that job, come to my mom's house, help me prep for the evening person that was sitting there, sit beside my mom till 11 o'clock at night, go home and prep for the next day, go to work, do the whole thing again. She did that 5 days straight. That Saturday, my mom passed away early that morning. My youngest daughter came in and spent an entire weekend with me because I was going to have no help at all over the weekend. And she said, let me just come up there. And we rotated the schedule. She would be up, then I would sleep. I would be up, she would sleep. You know, we did that all weekend for 3 days. But wonderful help again. I cannot brag enough on those 3 people. Now, the 4th person I want to brag on is my husband. The support I got from this man, a lot of people don't see. Truly meant every word he said to me when we got married. He will be there with me through the bad times. I'm sorry. I cannot brag enough on this man. I have bragged and bragged about everything he gave me. The support was just wonderful. So anyway, give me a minute. The projects I've been doing. There are a lot of other people I could brag on. My knitting group, my sewing group, my church. There's people I'm going to forget, I know, but I tell you what, having all that support, all that prayer going up meant the world to me. Now, sewing. My ASG group leader, Terry, notified everyone and said, hey, don't forget we're going to have this pajama party. It's like 2.5 hours. Get together. I'm going to pick soup and sandwiches, and then we're just present our pajamas, talk about the pattern, and bring some Christmas gift ideas. So I decided I want to try this other pattern. Now, last year, the year before, I had made this pattern, this simplicity pattern here. I made the robe and the pants. I never could make a shirt that I truly liked, so I just wear a t-shirt that I bought at Hobby Lobby. You know, I'm not picky. The robe is a little bit too long, and I've never re-hemmed it. I need to. But the pajamas, I ended up having to take out 4 inches out of the waist after I made it. Now, this is Simplicity 5361. I love the pattern. I love this robe. I mean, every time I wear this robe, it's so comfortable. The pants are comfortable now that I have them cut down. I don't know why I didn't think about measuring. Measure yourself, measure the pattern. I did look at the numbers on the back, and I thought, it's fine. I'll just trust it. It's fine. I may have to take out a little bit. A little bit to me was like another seam allowance. No, I ended up taking out 2 inches all around. It's better now. Still roomy. Much, much better. More comfortable. So I took the pants to this pattern, and I laid it against the pattern for this pattern because this is McCalls 4724. Now, this is a unisex pattern. This is for women only. This I cut by an extra large, but I could have cut it by the medium, which the extra large is the biggest on here, so next time this will be cut by medium. This one needed to be a medium. The smallest size I could cut out was extra large. I don't trace my patterns, not all of them. I was not going to trace this pattern. I don't have that kind of time. People, I do not have that kind of time to sit there and carefully try. No, I cut it out. Well, before I cut it out, after I laid this out, and I see that I've got to take out 2 inches out of from waist down, I need to take out 2 inches. So I used the grain line to fold out. I actually pinched up 1 inch. So, you know, when you fold that over, that pleat, you have 2 inches taken out. 2 times 4, because there's 4 pieces, is 8 inches from the waist. I was a little panicky at first because I thought, oh, did I take out too much? Actually, it was perfect. I could have taken out a little bit in the crotch, not a much. It's not bad. I could take out probably 1/2 inch in the crotch area, just the lower part of the crotch where it goes between your legs. I could take that out. The 1/2 inch is really not bothering me that much. I've slept in them. They're fine. But I also took out 4 inches out of each leg, which the legs could lose a little bit more too to really be more satisfactory to me, but they're not that bad. So note to self, buy your pajama pants in a medium. Now that's not true about every pattern. Only if it's unisex. If it's female, parts of it I do need the extra large, and parts of it I need a medium. Just saying. Note to self. Okay, so enough about that. I would show you my pajamas, but they're in the laundry. So maybe next time, but not today. Gift. I had to take a gift item idea. So I thought, you know, I really like this little bag I made last year. It's a Minki Kim pattern. She has videos on YouTube. She gives clear directions in her notes about cutting pieces, and And then the video teaches you how to make that's the directions. It's all set to music. She does not speak in these videos, but she is clear and precise on everything she does. But I like the way she does binding. It's something I can do because I am not a quilter and I'm not a very good bag maker. But one thing I did kind of gripe about was there wasn't a little pocket, and so I wanted an inside pocket for some of my tools. So in this one I made for myself last year, I did put a pocket. Now, I wanted to take a gift that I'm going to give my knitting friends. This is like the gift wrapping package. This is the way it will be presented when we do our little gifts. I'm just going to lay it on the table. Yes, it's going to catch attention, but they'll be able to see there's things inside it because it's going to be, you know, puffy like this one. See? So there'll be things in it. I'm not going to say what's in it, but there'll be things in it. I did a little zipper pull addition. This is a little sheep. Cute little sheep. Cute little sheep. The polka dot was left over from a shirt. So same on the inside, polka dot. You can see scissors can easily fit in this little pocket here. Those are my scissors, not theirs. Not the person who's going to get this gift. But that's what I presented. Now we had a lot of great ideas at the meeting. Luggage tags, pot holders, embroidered kitchen towels, embroidered pot holder, the little Christmas trees that you can make, book covers. One lady had made a book cover. I know one lady made a thing for her sister for the top of her glass stove that has the thermal insulation. You know what I'm talking about. That's that silver stuff inside. And then all cotton, of course. Because it's usually hot, so just in case she was to lace or touch it, she wouldn't burn her hand. Here you just see some of the ideas that we presented at our PJ party at my ASG meeting. But the biggest thing that we're going to do right now is a tour of my room. Now, guys, it is still a wreck. I've been working on it. I wanted to get all the fabric in the closet. Now the closet is finished. And some of the people on Facebook, where Jen has created 2 pages, I think, for Friday Sewist. I did insert a picture because someone had asked about how do you store your fabric, and I wanted to show how it was at the time. And people have asked a lot of questions about it, and so I will link in the description everything that I used, or at least I hope I've got everything on there, that I used in this room that's new, that's an addition. And then there's things that I took from other places and brought here and put in. So give me a few minutes, we'll do a little tour, and then we'll do a wrap-up. Now on the opposite side of the room of where it used to be. One addition to the room is this unit right here. This was purchased through Walmart mail order, as well as the silver containers. I think they came from Amazon. I'm going to get more of these silver drawers because I'm not liking the way I'm storing the patterns. The patterns are what's in the binders. And I have those plastic page covers to hold the patterns. And most of the patterns are done by Garment Style. It's not by company, it's by Garment Style. Well, I will continue to do Garment Style when I do them in the drawers, but I'm going to do manila envelopes. The patterns will now be in the manila envelopes with a picture of the cover of the pattern on the envelope. So like the contents of this pattern will be in the envelope with that picture ran off, taped to the front or glued, whatever, to the front of the envelope. Then this will go, the envelope that the pattern came in will go in a binder. And I think the 3 remaining holes that I would have left would be plenty. So I'm going to have lots of binders left over. But that's okay. These are things that I pulled from other rooms, left over from when I taught school, just recycled, repurposed for what I'm doing. And here, everything is now labeled. So you see that. Ashley thought it all should be labeled. The shelf came from my mother's house. My dad had built this, and I was really surprised that it fit exactly like it was made for it. It was amazing. We couldn't believe it. This table down here, well, it's a mess, I'm sorry. But it will only have my serger and my sewing machine, and then this little white thing is used for any parts that go to either one of these machines. Over here, these are things I pulled from other sources. My scrapbooking area lost four units. This side here is laces only. This is anything else, zippers, trims, bias tape, more things like that up here, as well as fancier ribbons and things that I sometimes use are up there. The file cabinets still have some patterns in them. Some mending type things are in there. My friend Faye actually did this hat for me. It's one of my mother's garden hats, and the flowers are from a wreath that I gave her when she had her mastectomy surgery. And I wanted to recycle all that. So there's 2 garden hats, this one and another one, and the flowers have been put on there along with some ribbons. This is my closet before I added the shelves. Look at this closet. Isn't this amazing? I can see everything. Wools folded up there. There's things on the wire racks too, but everything's pretty much organized by what type of fabric it is. I couldn't get over how much white linen I own. Straight ahead, that's white linen. A lot. In the boxes are smaller cuts of fabric. Those little fabric covered gray boxes is just smaller cuts of fabric that the boards, I noticed the comic boards were like bending too much, so I decided to put them in something like that. I've got some knits, smaller cuts of knits in some of them, but I still have some fabric that's just folded. It's not on any kind of board because I ran out. Things up here are folded because of the weight would not work, so I just folded it best I could and placed it up there in layers so I can at least see what it is, but it's not on any kind of a board unless it was a smaller cut. Like these are smaller, so those would go on a board, but most of them, they're just too heavy, too bulky. So that's a tour of that. Now in the plastic boxes, those are actually yarn that is stored with the pattern, because, you know, if you're like me, most knitters, well, actually most sewers, you can see, I like it, buy it. I don't know why I have so much white knit either. I seem to thought I needed a lot of that, and so anyway, most of that I can just use to make samples and test out a pattern before I actually cut it out of the fashion fabric. So it's kind of nice that I do have it. But I can't say that for all my wovens. I'll have to, you know, get something for that still. But back to these boxes, it's knit, the yarn with the pattern is what those are. And then there's other things stored just right there underneath. Really nice. Thank you for coming and joining me today on my little tour. I'm really loving my sewing space. I'm a lot happier with it. Especially this closet. I can see everything I have. It's so much better than being in a plastic bin. I couldn't see anything. I thought that was going to be a great idea, and it turned out not to be such a great idea. This is much better. This, I will look in there first before I ever buy another piece of fabric. I think the only thing I'll probably honestly have to buy is like what I ran into with my pajamas. I did not have anything for the shirt, so I had to go buy fabric for the shirt. But that was just for one part. The pants, I had fabric for that. So, you know, cases like that where, yes, I've got to get this made, but I don't have anything that will match this fabric with all the colors that was in those pants. You're going to find that hard to believe, but there wasn't anything. So I went quickly to the quilt store and I found a batik that I really liked that was kind of tonal, and used that to make my shirt. Other than that, that's all I have for you today. So you all have a very blessed evening, and I hope to get this uploaded tonight. If not, it'll be in the morning. But this is Friday Sews. I'm Cheryl with Bluegrass Dreams to Seams.